Welcome to this edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience. Johnny Ritchie. We're at the Dixie Center in St. George, Utah. Never been here before. Never been in front of a St. George crowd. I got to tell you, last few days we've been down here. It's a great place.
Mike, the people of St. George are so hospitable. Not only are they excited that we're here, but they're just excited for the fights, Mike. These guys are wild fans. We always talk about the guys in Salt Lake and the guys in Orem and in Provo and in Ogden. I think St. George has the rowdiest fans here tonight.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And St. George surprisingly has some pretty tough hombres that fight out of this town, and some of these guys are going to be representing the city of St. George on the card tonight. Who are they, Johnny?
Well, Mike, you've got, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm just going to let the fighting speak for itself. All I know is the main event, Mike, pits Ty Lee versus our friend, Big Sika Ripley, Mike.
Ty Lee representing the Cedar City area right down here close to St. George. I can't wait for that one. Those guys, I saw them backstage warming up. It's going to be a great one. Well, let's stop talking about it. Let's just get to the slugging. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience from St. George. Check it out.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Ultimate Combat Experience starts now.
Warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight. I say we warriors of the ultimate fight. Get in the ring for the ultimate fight.
Couple middleweights, both from the St. George area. You're going to get things started out here. They're going to come out slugging it. Who are these guys, Johnny?
We got Mike Worley, Mike, fighting out of St. George, Utah. Mark Worley getting in here, ready to step it up. Mike said, hey, my last fight went really well. They call me the Blaze Mike because I'm always on fire. And his opponent is Rusty Pearson, scrappy-looking roughneck guy that just wants to get in here and knock someone out tonight.
Let's do it. Middleweight, no holds barred. Check it out. Most of the hometown boys, Johnny Ritchie, they come from small towns, but they want to make it big in the fight game, and they're going to get things started here in the Ultimate Combat Experience.
Yeah, Mike, this show is built north versus south. These are two southerners that want to get in here and knock each other out, so you got to love that.
Yeah, we put the card together, and we had everybody matched up north to south, and these guys said, hey, man, we want to slug each other, too, at 5'11", 180 pounds. Mark Worley goes by the nickname of the Blaze.
And there's old Rusty Metal Pearson, Mike. Kids that says, hey, I'm a solid wrestler, my hips are great, my stand-up's getting better, but I can knock people out.
Johnny, he said that. He said my hips are great.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Those are his words.
He said he's got great hips, whatever that means.
Take his word on it. Rusty Pearson, also 5'11", 180 pounds, but Johnny, I think somebody lied on their application.
Yeah, it looks like old Rusty Metal Pearson was standing about 5'8".
Maybe 5'6" of that. He's giving up about a 5'6" height advantage here, but as you mentioned, he's a wrestler, and wrestlers don't need no stinking height.
No, absolutely not, Mike. Yeah, right there. And what do you know? Classic wrestler goes in for what it looked like was a double leg takedown, then ends up getting a head throw on his opponent here, Mike. And now these guys are just going back and forth.
Nice work. And you see Worley looking for that arm lock, waiting for that inevitable mistake that Rusty Pearson, he thinks is going to make, boy. Really good transition. You want to talk about hips there. Worley was all over the place with those things and looking for that arm lock.
Yeah, he was right there, but then he saw old Rusty Pearson throw a left straight that caught him right in the chin.
Both of those. That landed pretty solid as well, and then tucks underneath and gets a nice body lock with another takedown. But again, it looks like Worley's very dangerous on the ground here, and Pearson wisely keeping him pressed up against the cage.
Yeah, you see some blood coming from the nose of Mark Worley. He's transitioning, trying to crawl up the body, possibly looking for, oh, right there, Mike, could very well be a triangle choke we're looking at here.
Well, he's certainly setting it up nicely, but looks like Pearson might be wise to it, and he sat down and busted his way through it and did a nice way of punching his way out of that situation.
Hey, for Rusty Pearson being a first-time fighter, Mike, he's looking pretty dang good inside this cage, and Mark Worley's doing a pretty dang good job himself, Mike, for only being in here one time before.
I'm really impressed with both these guys. They certainly don't look like novice fighters, that's for sure. Both on their feet and on the ground. I've seen some really very nice wrestling from Rusty Pearson. Getting a little stall in the action here, though. These guys may be settling in and getting a little breath or two before they go back to the next flurry.
Yeah, you hear Dave Sully said yelling at him, Mike clapping his hands telling them to get get busy. And if you don't, Dave's going to stand you back up. He's not afraid to do that one bit.
Which he just did right there. And the height disadvantage here is pretty profound. But really, Rusty Pearson does a great job of negating that. I mean, every time they've stood on their feet, he's either punched or faked a punch and then gone in with a nice takedown. And you see here working on a little head and arm, or trying to work his way out of that guard somehow.
Yeah, Mike, well, that was a great takedown. He got the double underhooks, really threw that nice body lock in deep. And now, yeah, what has he got there? A head and arm, looks like, on a...
Well, I think he's just trying to pass that guard. He's trying to stay out of trouble there, and he's done a pretty nice job. He's kind of half guard and half out, so trying to work side mount a little bit here, and all the while working the body there with some nice body shots.
Well, Mike, it's pretty cool to see a guy like this coming in for his first time and the transitions that he's making. I mean, back in the day when the first-time fighter stepped in here, you know, you could tell he was a first-time fighter. This guy, you think he'd been in here a time or two before.
Well, without a doubt, but here's maybe part of that reason is we just don't make our way down to the southern part of the state too often, and we're down here, and these guys don't get too many opportunities to get inside the cage, so we deliver. We're here for you folks, and we come all the way down to St. George, Utah today for this big matchup here, and these guys obviously were prepared for that.
Well, Mike, and for being the St. George not being the biggest town in Utah, they got a couple mixed martial arts gyms. They're training guys, so they were ready for us when we made the trek.
They're in such close proximity to Las Vegas, and if you want to get out of the Vegas scene and to kind of be in close proximity, St. George seems to be a great place to do just that. With about 1 second left in the match here. Great first round. I think in my unofficial scorecard, Rusty Pearson's got cause to be waving his hands like that. A couple big takedowns tonight, some big shots. I give him that first round. But hey, looks like we got a lot more of this when we come back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, boy, a round one between Mark Worley and Rusty Pearson proved to be a pretty seesaw battle, Johnny Ritchie, back and forth. But Rusty Pearson on our unofficial scorecards scoring some big takedowns and giving him the nod in round one.
Yeah, Mike, he knew that he had that disadvantage because of his height. He saw that Mark Worley was throwing those long punches, and he landed a couple of them. So Rusty figured he had to get in close and get that takedown, and right there, exactly what he did in the first round at least 3 times.
Just a repeat of that right there, except, you know, as you mentioned, on their feet, it seemed like Rusty Pearson even landed more of the accurate shots. He landed right on the button a couple of times. We certainly saw that Mark Worley's got a pretty good chin. He weathered the storm, and he's really been looking for something on the ground. He's done a good job of looking for submissions. Hasn't quite been able to get one just yet.
No, Mike, he hasn't. But you see right there, he's got that head locked up. He's really trying to put the squeeze on Mike, but he needs to have Rusty Pearson inside of his guard. He needs to really be extending his hips and his back. But I think Rusty's okay there. He's going to catch a few breathers.
You know, I tell you what, after round one, I'm a little bit surprised to see this out of Mark Worley, because Mark Worley really looked to have some good hips and looked to really be astute on the ground, what he was looking for. And then this round, we see him doing what a lot of beginner fighters do, and that's just grab onto a head and squeeze it. A little bit of a contrast from round one.
Yeah, Mike, definitely is. Once again, you see him right there. He's just trying to crank that thing on, and it's not really working. I don't know if it's just fatigue or what is he doing? Did he just lose his train of thought? Is he not putting things together? I'm not sure.
Maybe he is just trying to get a little breather here and just, you know, maybe I can hide out here just a little bit. And now look for something when Rusty Pearson does come over the top to try to punch me, but doesn't look like he's doing that now either.
No, but you see Rusty doing a pretty good job of using those short elbows, Mike. He's in a half guard position looking for full mount, and Mark Worley's really trying his hardest to get him back inside of his full guard.
Doing a pretty good job of that, and really position. We talk about this, that it appears though Rusty Pearson's in pretty good proximity to the cage, and maybe want to think about trying to turn old Mark Worley toward that cage and shorten things up for him just a little bit. Worley looks like he might be coming out the backside.
Yeah, Mike, if he can throw that left leg all the way over and throw that hook in, Mike, that's going to give him exactly the leverage that he needs to come out on top through the back and possibly throw a choke on.
Doesn't quite get it. It doesn't appear, and maybe Pearson just caught on to what he was up to at the last minute there. Does a nice job of thwarting that effort. But now you see once again Mark Worley looking for a triangle, looking for something underneath, not just hanging out under there.
Yeah, and that's what I like to see, Mike. It's good that he's actually, his feet are working. He doesn't have a closed guard. He's trying to crawl up the body, and every time he does, though, Rusty makes it tough because he does throw those one or two big shots like that.
That was a big shot. You know, when you throw that big shot like that, though, it's common. You'll see a guy leave that arm behind, and you can attack it. But it just seems like Worley is just a second behind on those attacks and doesn't quite get him. See here, does a nice job, though, of escaping, and now he's facing Rusty Pearson.
Now I'm going to wonder here, Mike, if he's going to try to just stand up or if he's going to press and try to get a takedown. He only has a few seconds left on the clock, and Rusty!
You don't have to wonder for much longer. Rusty does a nice job, and I think that right there, once again, is going to seal the fate on the scorecards for Rusty Pearson. It looks like, and once again, on a very unofficial scorecard, I've got him up 2-0.
Yeah, Mike, I'm going to agree with you there, too. I think landing in that full mount position right there with just a couple seconds left it's going to tip the scorecard a little bit.
Tips the scale, but I think he was winning up to that point, but he would have been nice to see if Worley could have done something out from underneath. Didn't quite get there. Took a nice shot once again on the chin right there.
And you see Mark Worley's got his hands up and throwing a punch. Oh, landed two pretty good shots there, and maybe looked like he might have buckled Rusty, but Rusty's just looking for that takedown, and there he goes.
That's all he's looking for, and once again achieves just that. Doing a great job is Rusty Pearson, and again, we can't say this enough. Both these guys first-timers, well, not first-timers, but very novice fighters. Both these guys fighting way ahead of what their skill level should be. Very impressive with both these guys.
Well, Mike, it is the finals, and you know, we're only going to try to put in the best of the best, and these guys, we've heard good things about them, so it's nice to see them get in here and really prove that they do have what it takes.
I think that may have something to do with it as well. I mean, you see these guys, you're in a big venue like this, and you look to maybe sometimes they fight out of their league, if you will, just because of the old presence of the show. And both these guys putting on a great show tonight for the fans.
And you saw Mark Worley right there, Mike, possibly looking for an ankle lock, but he was thinking about it, and just then Rusty landed a pretty nice hammer fist to the side of his head that made him think otherwise.
Well, it certainly did change this moment at 100%. But right here, now I'm not seeing Worley really getting aggressive with these underground attacks. It seems like he's kind of given up with the fact that, hey, I'm just not going to get these things.
Yeah, Mike, and that's kind of a bum deal because in the later rounds like that, I think being a novice for Rusty, he's going to get sloppy, and he's going to leave things behind, and I think that might be the chance that Mark Worley's been looking for this whole fight.
Well, it sure is, but he doesn't again. You see him kind of climbing up the body, but then he gave up on it, and it really looked to me like he could have kicked that leg over and went for a triangle or gone for an arm lock, and it looks like he's kind of going through those motions but not finishing the deal, and Dave Selly said has certainly seen enough of that.
Yeah, Dave does not like it if you're not doing much, if you're just kind of rolling over and doing the same things. He's going to put you into a place where he forces the action. So
any opportunity for him to get in and tackle somebody, he'll take it. Right there, Rusty Pearson obviously feels the same way, and I don't know, Pearson might have a shot at breaking Dave Sellystead's tackle record here tonight. He's gotten so many of them.
Oh, absolutely, Mike, and you see right there, Mark Worley was winding up to land one of those hammer fists to the side ahead of Rusty, but Rusty's going to continue to work on this double leg, work on this tackle until he gets it. Mike gets Worley flat on his back and land some more shots.
Well, you can see the frustration in Worley's face. He's like, everything I've tried just hasn't worked tonight, and it seems as though I just can't stop this takedown. And here I am, pressed up against the cage again, and you just look so frustrated.
Yeah, Mike, he does. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Mike. And it's got to be. That's a tough spot to be in. He's landing some pretty good shots, but Pearson has been just relentless when it comes to this takedown. And once he gets on top, he's doing just enough to win it.
Well, he's doing all the right things, really. And at this point, he doesn't have to do anything more to win it other than just kind of stall it out. I hate to say that with 5 seconds left, but he's certainly won this match. There's no doubt about it. But Mark Worley's got nothing to hang his head about. He came in here, really gave a nice performance here. Shows that he's no bum at all. But I think Rusty Pearson's going to walk away with a judge's decision on this one.
Yeah, Mike, it's not like he got completely dominated, but he did lose. And I think that, with a little bit more training in both of these guys, Mike, we can see the future champs here.
Well, let's listen in on the judges' scorecards.
Judge number 2 scores about 30-28. And judge number 3 scores about 13-27.
Well, clearly every judge saw it the same way we did, and this is really weird that this many people agree with me because
usually
doesn't happen too often, that's for sure. But we do all agree that Metal Rusty Pearson came out with a big win tonight.
Hey, congratulations, buddy. Hopefully we'll get to see you soon.
This post-fight interview sponsored by Beehive Bell Bonds, because sometimes bad things happen to good people.
Mark, buddy, you get in here and man, you fought a battle against old Rusty Pearson. That's a pretty tough kid setting across the cage, isn't it?
Hell yeah, he's a tough kid.
You had great takedowns. You guys are trading back and forth, and I think the takedowns are what did it, because that third round, you landed a couple shots that I know rung Rusty's bell a little bit, and then he gets in, gets a takedown, and then he seemed to control the fight on the ground. But you did a great job, man. I want to know what's next for you, brother.
Well, gonna get back in the cage for damn sure.
Well, I tell you what, man, you're always welcome here in the Ultimate Combat Experience. I just want to say, tonight you were good, but just not good enough. Thanks for being a part, bro. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Anyone you need to thank tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Aaron at Ace Reach Karate, and I'd also like to thank my family for being here and support me no matter what I do.
Right there. It always helps when you got that support. Hey, thanks for being a part of it, man. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
This post-fight interview is brought to you by the United States Army. Be Army strong. Log on to GoArmy.com.
How big was it to have them yelling for you over there? Because that was a pretty vocal crowd. How big was it? Did it play a factor in the fight?
Oh, absolutely. It's nice to have your home crowd and family right there championing your ear. So
without a doubt, man. Hey, I got to tell you, man, it's great coming down here. You guys have been great. It's been great getting to know you guys, and congratulations, big one for you tonight.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for the opportunity to fight.
Not only do we meet some cool guys down here, I mean, there's some pretty tough guys, obviously, you see, too.
Oh, without a doubt, Rusty Pearson, Mike, never stepped inside the cage, but he looked like a seasoned vet when he got in here. Good up against Mark Worley, got a little bit more experience. It's always nice to see these first-time guys get in here and get the win.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. We got more of the Ultimate Combat. Don't go anywhere.
Take for you to step up and get inside the cage. Tell us a little about how you prepared for tomorrow night's fight.
I just want to scrap. Just want to scrap. I went training with Kavika a couple times, so that's about it.
So you're training with Kavika a couple times. Tell us, man, what made you decide to step inside the cage and become a mixed martial artist?
I watched it a lot on TV, so I just thought I'd jump into the sport. So that's about it.
All right, man. Hey, send Jared a message, man. Let him know why you're going to win tomorrow.
No, I'm just going to do anything. I'm just going to stand up and scrap. That's about it.
All right, so you're a scrapper. That's needless to say. You're a scrapper. All right, Jared. I need to hear from you, brother. What did it take to get your ass finally stepping back up in the Ultimate Combat Experience for such a little bit of time away?
Just training, man. I have 2 kids, and I've been married and didn't have the time to do it full time. So now I'm able to free up a little bit, and I'm excited to get in here and fight again. It'll be fun.
Hey, Jared, I tell you, man, we're excited to see you come back and do this thing, man. Tell us, people at home, what have you been doing to make sure that you come back into this fight and get yourself a victory?
Just training, man. Just been up at Big Bear training for my little brother, and some tough dudes up there. So we should be ready to go, man. I'm excited.
Jared, without a doubt, I couldn't have said it better myself. I need you to send your opponent a message, man. Let Simon know why you're walking out of that cage with a victory tomorrow night.
Hey, man, just be ready. I'm ready, and I'm looking forward to fighting you. You're a tough guy, and it takes balls to get in here in the first place. So congrats.
Absolutely right there. Hey, shake hands. Best of luck to these guys. Let's give them a round of applause. Fight tomorrow night.
In the middleweight division, we've got a kid we've seen before, but haven't seen him inside the cage in quite some time. Who is this guy?
Oh, Mike, it's the People Warriors' little brother. It's Jared Burkman stepping in the cage tonight, Mike.
It's actually the People's Warriors' big brother.
Big brother, yeah, big brother.
And he plans on making just as big a splash on the MMA scene as his brother has done, and this is kind of his start in that direction.
Well, absolutely, Mike. He's been training hard. He looks good. And Josh says, hey, he's the real deal. His opponent, though, Simon Ione, says, hey, man, he's so soft-spoken, but he says, I do all my talking with my fists.
Well, don't be looking at UFC glory before you get past Simon right here. Middleweight, no holds barred. Check it out.
Both these guys walking inside the cage tonight with a lot of confidence. I mean, Simon Ione, he knows who Jared Burkman is, and he doesn't seem to be too terribly intimidated by the guy.
No, Mike, he's not. He just wants to scrap. He just wants to get in there and have a great fight. You know, he didn't really say that much about the outcome. He goes, look, if I win, yeah, that's great. If I lose, man, but I just want to put on a good show for the people at home and in the crowd tonight.
Well, at 5'10", 183 pounds, training with the Who Hit You squad, and Simon Scrappy Ione, once again, pretty confident coming in here tonight.
Yeah, Mike, he's over there training a little bit with Kavika. He also trained with Ricky Lundell. Some of those guys down there at the Pedro Sauer down in Orem.
Well, he's given up a little weight here. He's not giving up any height, though. He's 5'11", only 177 pounds. Well, you know, he does have a bit of a reach advantage, though.
Yeah, it looks that way, Mike. Dave Silly said going over last-minute instructions, making sure these guys understand the rules, and I know that they do, Mike, and they're going to come in here and have a really clean fight tonight.
Is that what you're predicting, Johnny?
That's what I'm predicting.
All right, a clean touch of the gloves right there. Good show of sportsmanship, no doubt. Simon Ione coming across with a 1-2, and really that did nothing but set up that takedown there by Jared Burkman. That was slick.
Yeah, that was slick, Mike. He took full advantage of that lost opportunity by Simon, and now, oh, but as you see right there, Simon's not going to let go of that head, and he's going to make things a little difficult for Jared.
Well, trying to make things difficult underneath. Jared doing a nice job of keeping his hips back and not letting Simon do any rolls or anything like that. Now standing up in his guard, looking for, gosh, there's a lot of action right here.
Yeah, you saw right there, Jared goes back inside of his guard, and right as he did that, Simon threw a nice punch that landed, and I think it kind of made Jared think twice.
Jared did a good job of coming up over the top, though. Those two big looping punches, I don't think either one of them landed very solidly, but you can see where he's going. It was a nice elbow there.
Yeah, Mike, that's ground and pound right there at its finest. He's setting that thing back. Oh, but you see, oh.
Just about got caught with an arm lock there, and Simon now getting a nice reversal. I think he banged his head just as much as he banged old Jared Burkman right
Yeah,
there.
You saw Jared, Mike, working to as soon as Simon stepped inside, he reached down and throw on this guillotine choke, and Mike, it looks like he's working for it. Oh, no, there goes his hand. Looks like it slipped out, but he's going to continue to possibly try for that guillotine choke.
Oh, I think he's trying to make things difficult there. He's going to have a little hard time doing it now. He's pressed up against Cage. Simon doing a great job of being aware of where he's at and the presence of mind to try to take some of that pressure off. And now Jared Burkman obviously going to go to work with his guard.
Yeah, Mike, he's going to be looking for a sweep. You know, if he's anything like his brother, he's going to be trying to throw those elbows from underneath and possibly cut Simon, but probably be looking for a reversal more than anything.
Trying to get out from underneath, and Simon Ione doing a good job of pressing him against Cage once again. You see that, but he's got to do something when he gets there. I'd like to see him get a little more active, punching over the tops, doing something. It looks like Jared might be looking for a key lock.
Yeah, maybe possibly looking for a key lock here, Mike, or maybe a scissor sweep to a reversal to a full mount, but I don't know with that cage out, it's going to be kind of hard.
A multitude of possibilities, Johnny.
Multitude.
Anything could happen here.
Hey, you're absolutely. But you're right.
Like the key lock. Going on.
Yeah.
And Simon doing a good job of kind of posturing up and not letting that thing go on all the way. Jared Burkman not giving up on it though.
Yeah, and you see Jared did a pretty good job. Once Simon loosened up a little bit, he just stood right to his feet. But Simon not going to let him stand up. He's going to continue to press and look for that double leg takedown, and he gets it.
He certainly does get it, boy. And I'll tell you, it's certainly a different Jared Burkman than we saw the last time he fought for us, which was about 4 years ago. The kid has obviously studied the game just a little bit. Very calm and composed in this fight. I'm seeing a great growth from him. But, boy, I'm just nothing but impressed with this Simon Ione kid. He's very new to the game, and he's matching shot for shot, matching move for move with Jared Burkman. Doing a great job.
Yeah, Mike, and now with only a few seconds left, he gets the full mount of Jared Burkman, and he's throwing down some bombs here, Mike. Wow.
Well, unfortunately for him, it's too little too late because we're going to see the end of the round here. And, boy, he just did get position right there at the end of the round. But something like that can set the tone for you, give you a lot of confidence going back to your corner, and conversely, it can really drain the confidence out of you if you're Jared Burkman.
Yeah, Mike, both these guys have good corners working for them, and I think that they're going to come back out firing just like they did in that first round.
Well, I hope they do. That was certainly an action-packed round, and certainly not one I'd want to be trying to score because that was as even as I've ever seen a round. It seemed like Jared Burkman had momentum in the first part of the round. He just racked Simon Ione with a right hand that just dropped him, and that will change things around in a big hurry.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. But Simon, you know, just out of survival mode, grabs a hold of Jared and try to toss him to the ground. They both land on the and now they're doing a little scramble here.
You predicted an exciting start of the round, and boy, they certainly did come out with fireworks. And Jared Burkman really, I think, he felt like he had lost momentum at the end of that last round and felt like he had to come back and regain it. He certainly did that with a very explosive attack, and now he finds himself up on top, working some short elbows, looking very good for him.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. I think Simon Ione is still trying to shake the cobwebs off of that hard right that Jared threw at him, but he's underneath now, a spot that we haven't seen him in before. So let's see if working down there with Kavika is going to help him out with his submissions.
Burkman doing a good job of punching to the body and kind of softening him up. And you really can kind of sense that physically Burkman has kind of taken this fight over.
I like to see what Jared did right there, Mike. It kind of looked like he was going to reach back to uncross the feet or grab the leg and then step forward and threw himself a nice overhand.
That's the second time he's done that, and landed both times that he's done it. Pretty sneaky little moves there. I guess maybe he worked on that at Big Bear.
Up at Big Bear, yeah, but you see right here he's going to walk Simon to the cage, Mike, and this is where Jared wants to be. Ground and pound. He just wants to get Simon in a bad spot and just rain down punches.
A little switch-o change-o here. Now you see Simon looking for a key lock or something there, and or perhaps a reversal. But boy, it seems like Jared really has once again just physically kind of taken this fight over.
Yeah, Mike. And it was kind of funny. He talked about his game, and it has improved. Oh, but right there.
Oh, baby.
No, oh, that's not where you want to be.
Until you leave something behind. And boy, Simon Ione doing a great job of sneaking up there with a triangle choke. It looks like he's trying to inch this thing on.
Yeah, Mike, and Jared, you see, he tried to push that arm right back through because he knew once he pulled that thing out, he was in a little bit of trouble. He needs to create that space, either get that arm in or get all the way out of this thing.
Wow, Jared doing a good job of doing just that, creating that little bit of space there that might save him if this thing gets cinched on.
Well, there you go right there, Mike. Just enough room to get it all out. And now he's in a pretty good spot here, Mike, in this side position. Oh, landing some pretty vicious elbows.
Those were some big elbows because Simon's head had nowhere to go. He's pressed up against the cage there, and I think those ones really hurt.
Yeah, Mike, and then throwing down 5 or 6 big blows as well. Simon's just kind of covering up here, Mike. Not really sure what he's going to be doing from underneath this in this position here.
Wow, he's not going to be doing a whole lot. Looks like he's looking to protect himself just a little bit, and Burkman happy to trap that arm and then start wailing away on the head.
Kind of a weird position that he has, Mike. He does have that arm pinch down to the mat, and he's throwing punches, from over top and from underneath. Ooh. And he landed a big one right there, Mike, and now his elbows.
Yeah, I don't think Simon's going to fight anymore.
That's it.
Dave saw the same thing I did. Boy, his eyes kind of rolled back and said, I'm done. And Jared Burkman coming away with a big win.
And you see right there, Mike, what a sportsman helps him up, says, hey, man, you doing all right? Yeah, well,
Jared's being a sportsman, but he knows he had a fight on his hands tonight. He certainly had to work for that one. That was a great job. Jared Burkman's got to feel pretty good about walking away with a win, but boy, Simon Ione sure impressed us tonight.
Absolutely. Well, there you see Jared Burkman, Mike, steps in, does what he needed to do to win, Mike. He looked great, great takedowns, ground and pound looked smooth. It's a tough kid right there.
That was an exciting match. You see Simon's not able to come out for this finish here, but, you know, he's okay, folks. He's really tired, and he got caught with a pretty good shot, but he'll be back.
This post-fight interview sponsored by Beehive Bell Bonds, because sometimes bad things happen to good people.
Simon, man, I'm telling you, buddy, you stepped inside this cage against a tough opponent in Jared the St. Burkman. You had a huge slam in the first round, and I saw his head bounce off the floor, and I wasn't sure if he was going to continue to fight. But you guys go 2 hard-fought rounds, man. Tell me, what was it that made you decide not to come out in that third?
His elbows.
Yeah, those elbows were vicious, man. He was landing elbows from the top position and from underneath. But Simon, you know, that's a tough kid, and you know, there's so much sportsmanship between you guys. I love to see that. He's glad that you took the fight. I'm glad you took the fight, man. What's next for you, bro?
Try and come back and revenge a loss.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. I tell you, all the toughest guys on the planet have a loss, okay? So you just started yours out early. That means no more losses for you. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, man, is there anyone you need to thank tonight?
Coconut Connect, Honest Style Tattoos, and that's about it.
That's about it. Simon, I like the hell out of you, man. Tonight you were good, brother, but just not good enough. Thanks for being a part of the experience, and hopefully we'll see you very soon.
Okay.
This post-fight interview is brought to you by Hollywood Body Laser Centers, the best in laser hair removal. Give them a call for a free consultation, 563-1177.
You've been to the winner's circle before, but typically as Josh's corner. I mean, you've been to the dance. Right. You've been here. How big was it to have your brother there at corner for you tonight?
Nothing better, man. That's family, that's blood, that's like me, we're one person.
That's what I'm saying. I saw the affection that was going on up here, and it's a testament to, I know the bond. I've seen it, but I think now everybody's seen how close you guys are. And all of his victories you've been there for, it's got to be really nice for him to enjoy one with you.
Absolutely, man. It's my blood, man, my family, nothing more important.
All right, man, I got to say, very impressive, Jared. I mean, the leaps and bounds that you have come is very, very impressive. What do you have in your vision in the horizon?
You know, just keep training hard and seeing who's next, man. It's something I love to do. Something you have to push yourself hard to be better at. It takes a lot of heart.
That was a pretty tough kid right there. It was a good fight. Very, very impressive fight.
Hey, that guy's a warrior, man. I love that guy. Great person, easy to talk to, man. That's what warriors are, is people who dare to get in there and see what they're made of. And nothing but props to him, man. Great guy.
Right on, Jared. I got to say congrats. It's great having you in here. Great job tonight, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Johnny, I hope we haven't seen the last of Simon, because that kid was impressive.
Jared had to work his butt off, Mike, to get that victory tonight, and in doing so, it made him that much more of a competitor. The Burkmans, man, they're class acts, but Simon, you're right. I hope he comes back and continues to fight in this thing, because he's got a lot of heart and a lot of drive.
It was neat to see the Burkman bond, too, going to work, and it was nice to see things flowing Jared's way for once. He's always been such a big support for Josh. We got more of the Ultimate Combat. Don't go anywhere. Couple middleweights. Again, we're featuring a kid here from St. George, Bill Brewer.
Yeah, Bill Brewer, Mike, fighting out of Dameron Valley. A kid that has been working his jiu-jitsu, man. He says, my jiu-jitsu game is getting better every single time. My stand-up has always been on. But Eric Hernandez, on the other hand, training out of Pedro Sauer's gym, says, my jiu-jitsu's always been good, and I'm starting to work on my hands. So let's see what happens inside the cage.
The battle of jiu-jitsu. Tonight, middleweight, no bar, check it out.
Both these guys going to try to use the same tactic on one another. Both ground fighters. Neither one of them really want to stand up on their feet. Eric Goodfella Hernandez has been training with the Pedro Sauer group for a little bit, and they say he's getting pretty tough.
Yeah, Mike, when the last time Eric fought for us, the kid looked great. You know, he stepped in here. His jiu-jitsu game was on point, and he's ready to rock and roll.
Well, he's only 5'7", 180 pounds. I think he's just a little bit shorter than the Butcher, William Brewer. Now, he also has a jiu-jitsu background, and he likes to call it Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Mike.
Oh,
He's training with a group of Hard Knocks Muay Thai, though. Says he's got a little bit of stand-up, but his forte really is on the ground.
Oh, absolutely, Mike. These guys can, if I can predict this fight, it's going to be 3 rounds of on the ground. You're not going to see a whole lot of stand-up out of these guys.
You're going to see butts and backs right here, but, you know, both these guys are good enough to get a quick submission as well, and, you know, with a touch of the gloves, we're going to see what we're going to get going here.
Oh, and you see Bill Brewer there landed a pretty nice shot. Mike, now he has the double underhooks of Eric Hernandez, has him against the fence, and he's been over there working that Muay Thai. Let's see some knees out of him.
Well, trying to throw some punches out on the inside. Gets the nice takedown here. Winds up in the guard of Eric Hernandez. And Hernandez doing a pretty good job working a butterfly guard there and just kind of trying to tie up the arms a little bit.
He doesn't want to give Bill that space because Bill does have that reach advantage, Mike. Bill's not afraid to strike. You know, he is going to be looking for a submission, but he'll soften you up with a few blows before he does anything.
Without a doubt. And you see here, just kind of jockeying for position is what these two are doing. And Bill trying to maybe throw an elbow here, get a quick, easy cut or something. Didn't quite get it, but you're just jockeying for position. Bill trying to pass guard here, and Hernandez not having anything to do with that.
He's not at all. And, you know, for the people that don't really know much about the sport of mixed martial arts and about this, I mean, jiu-jitsu is such an intricate part of, integral, is that the word?
That's a pretty good word for you, Johnny.
Part of the sport that these guys, it's just, it's so, you have to have it. You have to have these tools.
Absolutely do. And, you know, you see right here, both these guys have great understanding of the basics and great understanding of fundamentals. And right here, it's just a chess match. You know, this might not be the most exciting fight you've ever seen, but this is a match between two guys that do know jiu-jitsu, and they are pretty evenly matched. So it should be, at least if nothing else, for the purists of the sport, you'll see a nice little chess match.
Yeah, the technical standpoint. I'd rather see the big knockouts and all that, but hey, you know, the jiu-jitsu is fine by me, especially when you see guys like this that really know how to work it in the cage, Mike.
Dave Sully's there getting Eric Hernandez back up off the ground right here. Bill Brewer getting another takedown, winding up on top. Now trying to wind up, not in the guard of Eric Hernandez, unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful, Mike. Eric's pretty good at that. Anywhere you land on him, you really have to make sure that you stay away from his feet, because the fact that if you do give him one leg, he's going to get the other one around you, and then you're stuck inside his guard.
Well, Dave Sullystead doesn't like matches like this either, and he'll tend to stand him up sooner than later because he likes to see action. And unless these guys are trying to improve their position, he'll get them back up on their feet in no time.
Yeah, Mike, you're right. But then Bill Brewer right there landed two pretty solid shots to the side of Eric Hernandez's head. But Eric Hernandez is always going to be constantly right there, looking for you know, Bill to leave something behind so he can throw that submission on.
Doing a nice three-punch combination there was Bill Brewer. Kind of sat back and then tried to get up over the top of the hands and the defense of Eric Hernandez. And it looks like he landed a couple of those shots. You see a little welt on the forehead of Eric Hernandez.
And Eric Hernandez is right there trying to step out to the side, or not step out, but kind of get his body out to the side and maybe look for that arm bar once Bill leaves that thing behind. But Bill's pretty smart about submission. He's going to throw a couple punches and stay nice and tight so that you can't grab a hold of something and tear it off.
Well, that's always the game plan anyway.
Yeah.
Hernandez has a pretty tight guard, though. I notice he keeps things in very tight, and you know, this makes for kind of a boring match to watch. But again, I see these guys. As the time goes on, somebody's going to start leaving something open, and somebody's going to take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, Mike, you're absolutely right. But the funny thing is, they've got the wrong ref in there for that. When you talked about it, if there's a lull in the action, Dave is going to stand you up and he's going to press it, no matter what.
Well, and I think justifiably so, especially with these two guys that this is their style. Either do your style and be aggressive with it and work toward a victory, or maybe change up.
Maybe switch up. But you see right there coming out in the first round, they went to touch gloves, and just as they touched, Bill kind of threw a little left hook there that caught Eric on the side of his head and woke him up a little bit.
What's a little left hook among friends?
That's right, absolutely right.
But we find ourselves right back in the same position we found ourselves in almost this entire match thus far. And really, again, you kind of have to look at someone's got to do something differently.
Yeah, Mike, who's it going to be? You know, Bill Brewer has had the takedowns in this thing, but I think that's where Eric Hernandez wants him is inside of his guard, so he's not too frustrated at the fact that Bill has the takedowns.
I think you have to kind of negate takedowns if you don't do anything once you get there, and Bill Brewer is typically a more aggressive fighter than I'm seeing here, but he's wound up in the guard of Eric Hernandez, and for whatever reason, that has kind of caused him fits. He doesn't really seem to be opening up his offense, which really is not what I expected out of Bill Brewer.
Yeah, and the reason why that might be, Mike, is because Eric Hernandez is just that good at submission. I think that if he does, sometimes Bill fights recklessly, and I think if he fights recklessly against Eric could very easily lock him up and win this fight.
Well, we haven't seen that yet, though.
Sure.
I mean, maybe, I don't know if Bill Brewer is injured or what, but I'm not seeing Bill Brewer fighting like Bill Brewer fights.
Oh, Mike, and maybe that's it. Maybe he's thinking in his mind, because he does have the takedowns and he is throwing one or two punches from this position, that he is winning on the scorecard, and that might very well be the case.
Maybe it is a tactical decision on his part that, hey, I'm only doing just what I need to win. But again, that doesn't seem like Bill Brewer to me. Bill Brewer, he's all about he's a warrior. You know, he's all about coming out and winning and finishing fights, and I don't see that. And he'll rather have a fight come to a conclusion and could be on the short end of things than kind of stall things out. At least that's the Bill Brewer I know.
Oh yeah, Mike, and you're right, and especially here in front of his hometown fans. You know, he's got a lot of people here that support him, that came to see the Butcher fight. You know, Bill was promoting this thing almost as hard as we were down there.
I gotta say, really, everywhere we went, somebody had already been there, and they described Bill Brewer. He was there talking this fight up, and really did get a lot of people to come out here tonight. And you know, you see some good combinations here and there. You see some flashes of greatness, but you don't see the Butcher that we've seen fight in the past. And again, I'm concerned that maybe he's injured or something. Bill Brewer's just not as explosive as we've seen. Nice kick there, but we're right back where we started from in just a minute here.
Yeah, we are, Mike. You see he's going to reach inside and get that takedown. Now, if he can stay out to the side and work the things that he wants to work, his elbows,
which he didn't,
short fists, which he didn't, then that very well could be the thing that you talked about, something changing, something different.
Well, let's quit picking on Bill Brewer for a minute here and talk about Eric Hernandez. You know, you keep winding up in this same position, and If you're just going to let some guy take you down and you're not going to be offensive with your guard, you're not going to win fights.
Nope, you're not, Mike. You're right about that. So it's kind of a two-way street here. But either way, Mike, you know.
Bill Brewer acted like he was going to help him up and then decided, nah, get up on your own.
Maybe it was one of those touching the gloves
I got
and then a left
myself up,
hook.
you get yourself up. All right, well, you guys get yourselves back up and go to the fridge, grab yourself something to drink, and come back for round 3 when we come back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, boy, man, we're down here in southern Utah, St. George, with a North versus South promotion. Johnny Ritchie, we've got the guy from the South here, William the Butcher Brewer, going up against the Northern representative, and Eric Hernandez. And thus far, the South has been dominating this one.
Yeah, Mike, you're right. With the big takedowns, some nice ground and pound. We thought this was going to be a fight of submissions, Mike, and well, it sort of has been. But
if by submission you mean putting me to sleep, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly
right. Here,
right.
finally, Eric Hernandez finds himself up on top, and this is something we haven't seen yet, but now he's got to do something now that he's there. We've seen in the first 2 rounds, Bill the Butcher Brewer was on top, didn't do a whole lot, didn't do anything to secure victory, but he certainly hasn't lost anything because Eric Hernandez wasn't doing anything underneath either.
No, Mike, but in between the second and third round, you know, Ricky Lundell was in there telling Eric, this is the things you need to do, and I really think that got inside Eric's head to make him come out and really fight this hard for this third round. He knows he's losing.
How cool is that to have world-renowned Jiu Jitsu practitioner Ricky Lundell working your corner? This is the guy when it comes to Jiu Jitsu, so hopefully he did give him the adjustments that he needed to make, but I'm not seeing him. He got the takedown, but I'm not seeing any offense here. And maybe the tank's on empty. I don't know.
Yeah, and you could very well be right, Mike. But, I mean, empty from what? You know, he, like you said, the first 2 rounds, he just kind of was on his back looking for a submission, but it looked like he was camping out down there a lot, too. So I don't know. Is this the lay and pray technique? Was he playing possum and now he's going to come out firing? Who knows? But
he has to know he's down 2 rounds to nothing. He has to know that he's got to do something other than just get a takedown here in the 3rd round. He has to know that he's got to put something together. But grabbing a guy's head and hugging, that's not
it. But this is it. Oh, if he can get this
shot.
Oh!
He can get that mount position.
He can get that mount position. This is it.
He's got to sit up and do something, though.
Yeah, he does, Mike. He's still trying to work over Bill Brewer's trying to shrimp out of this thing. But if Eric can set up and throw some punches here, Mike, this could be bad for Bill Brewer.
Well, I think bad for Bill Brewer just turned into good for Bill Brewer. He was able to get a nice reversal there. And really, Eric Hernandez has to do something. He's got to explode off the bottom, just like Bill Brewer did a moment ago.
Absolutely, Mike. But will he do that? You know, is Bill Brewer too strong for him? Is he just overpowering and keeping Eric there, or can Eric do it? And at this point, Mike, I think that Bill Brewer's showing us what the outcome's going to be. I guarantee you,
Ricky Lundell could do it, and Ricky's much smaller.
Yeah, sure.
So, you know, I mean, there's got to be ways to go about doing that. But Bill Brewer, he's doing what he needs to do right now. He's just hanging on. He doesn't have to do anything to win this fight anymore at this point, other than protect that arm right there.
Well, Mike, he's squeezing on nice and tight. I'm not really sure what Bill's doing, but if he doesn't do much, you know Dave's going to stand this thing up, Mike. To the last second, Dave will stand it up.
Absolutely, but, you know, we're not talking about a fight that's even hanging in the balance, really.
Sure.
So with 9 seconds left, he's probably wise to just kind of hang this thing out, and hopefully, once again, he's not injured, because we didn't see the Bill Brewer we came to see tonight, but we certainly did see a Bill Brewer that's going to come out on top on the judges' scorecard. In my opinion, he won all 3 rounds with Eric Hernandez there. Eric came out and gave a good showing. He was an underdog in this match. He came out and he fought Bill Brewer, but it was just too slow of a match for my liking.
Yeah, Mike, it is. But this is one thing I like to see about this. You know, this is the North versus South. There's a lot of sportsmanship, a lot of camaraderie between these 2 guys. And
no question, good guys. Let's listen to what the judges have to say about it.
Judge number 2 scored at 29 and 28. Judge number 3 scored at 30-27. For your winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of the red corner, Bill.
No No surprise there. Bill Brewer giving a big thanks to the man upstairs, but really not anything unexpected in the decision. He was a favorite coming in. He did what he had to do to win. Congrats to Bill Brewer.
The Butcher, good job, buddy. Hopefully we'll see you soon. And Eric, don't hang your head.
Hey, you know, Eric will be back.
This post-fight interview is brought to you by the United States Army. Be Army strong. Log on to GoArmy.com.
Eric, buddy, that was a war right there, man. We talked about the war of jiu-jitsu, and we saw it. It was back and forth, and Bill Brewer just seemed to spend a lot of the fight on top. And I think maybe in the judges' eyes, that's why they scored it in a unanimous decision. And that, you know, in that third round there, things switched up though, and I saw you really working and landing shots and trying to get where you needed to be to win, man. Tell me, what do you think was what do you think happened in this fight tonight?
You know, I don't know. I really can't say. I mean, he's a good fighter. I just got to train harder. I mean, seen a couple of flaws in there, but it's nothing that can't be fixed.
Hey, Eric, and that's why I like you, man, because you know you just got to go back, work on the things that you weren't so good at tonight. But Eric, you're a tough kid, man. You're a former champion, a guy that knows what it's like to own some hardware inside the Ultimate Combat Experience. And Bill the Butcher Brewer has been fighting for us for a long time, and now, man, you know, he's made it. He fought and he got a good win tonight against you. But Eric, I know you're going to come back and continue to fight, aren't you?
Yes, I will. I'd like to thank my father and family out there for coming out to support me. Thanks my wife, corner Ricky, for working out.
I mean, how cool is it to have Ricky Lundell in your corner, man? This guy is a flipping jiu-jitsu master, and he's over here in your corner. Hey, that's got to feel pretty good, Eric. It didn't go your way tonight, man, but I know that you'll be back. Tonight you were good, brother, but just not good enough. Thanks for being a part of the experience.
Thank you.
This post-fight interview is brought to you by Hollywood Body Laser Centers, the best in laser hair removal. Give them a call for a free consultation, 563-1177.
Bill Brewer, that was a war.
Wow. My hat's off to my opponent, Eric. Hell of a tough fighter. Much respect to you, man. You tested me.
Tested you, but you passed the test. Big win for you. How does it feel?
It feels excellent. You know what feels great is fighting in my hometown in front of all these people. I really appreciate all of you coming out and supporting us. That feels great.
And Bill's always wanting to give it up for the fans, and we did. It's as a result of you that we brought this show down here, Dan. You kept telling me, we'll get them out, we'll get the people out, we're gonna have a good crowd out there, and we did. And I want to thank you personally for bringing us down.
No, thank you, Mike. You've done a lot more for me than I've done for you. I want to thank a few other people. First, my family and friends coming out. Isogenics, Jonathan Rhodes. You got to check him out. He's got a website set up. Check him out.
OneEnergyForYou.com.
Yeah, sorry, Eric rattled me a little bit. Also, Executive Auto Sales on Bluff Street. Check them out. Best customer service in the whole town. Go check them out. And to the Combat Club, my boxing coach, Steve, everybody at Hard Knocks Muay Thai, all my training partners. Much respect. Thanks for the support.
I think you got everybody, man. Great job tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bill's a good kid. He's just a good guy. Wants to thank everybody, and you know that says a lot about him.
Well, Mike, Bill's been partially the reason why we had such a successful night tonight. I mean, Bill was so excited we were coming to St. George to fight in his hometown that he spread the word to everybody that he knew, Mike, to make sure they were here tonight.
When we went out to tell people about it, they busted out flyers that Bill drew up himself with crayons. But they were ready. They knew about it.
Yeah, they knew about it, Mike. And Eric Hernandez knows that he got in a fight tonight. He's a tough kid, Mike. We talked about the jiu-jitsu war it was going to be, and Bill Brewer just came out with a slight edge tonight.
The Butcher comes away with a big win. We got more of the combat. Don't go.
Warriors!